Winter, a wonderful time of year, the smell of burning wood, the crisp feeling of the air, and the taste of hot coffee and pumpkin spice lattes. Winter is also a wonderful time of year to do fun activities such as hiking, visiting family, but most of all, if it snows where you live, sledding.
Mama, it's snowing outside. Can I go sledding?
Of course, Billy.
Yay! Whee!
I remember the first time I went sledding. It was a fun yet somewhat embarrassing memory that I will never forget. Now, to explain this not so traumatizing memory, sit back, get your hot cocoa, and get your popcorn and join me as I tell you of my very first sledding experience. Now, although I was born in Texas, I didn't always live in Texas. Part of my life, I grew up in Arizona, specifically in the southern part of Arizona, and anyone who lives there or is from there knows how hot it can be during the summer. And during the wintertime, it never snows. So I had no idea what snow looked like in person, other than what it looked like in movies or in photos. Occasionally, my dad and my stepmom would take me and my sisters to northern Arizona to go fishing in the woods and go hiking, which was always fun, especially seeing the occasional elk and deer. Now, when winter time came around and my baby sister was finally old enough to play with me and my sister Dakota, my dad made the decision for all of us to see snow for the very first time. When we first arrived, you could just imagine our excitement. Everything was like a dream, completely white and untouched. Until my dad opened the door and the cold came into the vehicle. And then he came back and brought us sleds! Before sledding on our own, my parents monitored me and Dakota to make sure that we got the hang of the sledding part of going down a hill, which they had us start small at first, and once we got the hang of it, my parents gave me the okay to sled on my own. So as I was looking for places to sled, I noticed these teenagers sledding down a pit in the ground.
Whoa! Where did they go? That looks cool! I want to join!
So I mustered up the courage and walked over to this pit to ask these teenagers if I could sled with them. Bad idea.
Hello down there! Can I join you?
Sure, come on down.
Now, I wasn't so smart with my kid brain because I took what the teenager said quite literally. So the side that the teenagers were sledding down was a steep slope, which was no big deal. But guys, I was on the other side of this pit where there was a cliff. So I set my sled down thinking it would be faster to get to the bottom. I was not wrong. After I sit down in the sled and I start leaning forward to begin sledding, I hear from below. Oh no.
What? Oh God. Hey kid! Don't sled from there!
Look at me!
Is she dead? You know, looking back, I feel so bad for these teenagers because they probably had a heart attack watching this random kid fall straight into the snow. They were nice enough to come over and pull me out by my feet, but they were totally expecting me to be crying, but I laughed.
Let's do that again!
Yeah, they were done dealing with me. So they helped me climb out of the pit and set me on my way. They were done with dealing with kids for the rest of the day. And you would think I would have learned my lesson. I did not. The story doesn't end there, folks! No, there was more that happened, and honestly, it makes me giggle every time I think of this memory. So I went back with my family because they were sledding down this particular slope that was no taller than maybe 3 feet. But oh boy, did you sled fast down that slope. You see, unlike all the other slopes that you sled down, this had a very thick sheet of ice that formed from all the amount of kids and adults sledding down it. So this made the ride all the more fun. And of course, I couldn't pass the fun opportunity to sled down this fast slope. like I said, I didn't learn my lesson. So I sat down, leaned my body forward to begin my ascent down the slope. And it was awesome. I was going pretty fast until...
Whoa! Whoa, Dad!
Guys, I don't even know how this even happened. But I slid down so fast, I managed to catapult myself over a pile of ice and snow that was put there to keep vehicles from going into the sledding area. And I managed to fly up into the air a little ways before I came back down thanks to gravity, just to come down and hit a Jeep. The roar of laughter that came from my dad and the other dads that watched this poor flying kid with the red sled. The only other person who was more concerned was my stepmom, and so whenever she rushed over to see if I was okay, I was perfectly fine, other than maybe a few cuts and bruises. I don't remember being in pain throughout the duration of the day, so I guess I was lucky.